Most of the people used to see this flow as, okay, we have to fetch this data from the database. For example, let's say if you are making a booking API, you should already keep in mind that what will happen in case of retries. To understand better system designs and not just learn those system design articles or just read those system design articles, try to implement them so that, but just think about it. If let's say you have 10,000 users concurrently hitting your APIs, you'll be getting logs for every single request. And once you are having clarity with those particular concepts, you can just prompt your corresponding AI model, which can actually implement those things for you. With so much disruption going on in the engineering ecosystem because of AI, there is a very good chance how you used to build backend system, let's say in the last 5 to 10 odd years, is going to drastically change in nothing less than 3 years or 2 years from now. This is not just my opinion, but this is an ongoing trend that you can actually observe and actually see. Hiring bar is like going off the roof, right? People are expecting that new incoming software engineers has the capability of mid-level or senior engineers in terms of their thinking, in terms of the code velocity that they can produce and whatnot. And in this particular video, I would like to address this particular issue. I would like to talk about how exactly the complete ecosystem as a backend engineer is changing. If you are somebody who is learning backend engineering, what should be some basic set of things are now bare minimum, how you should technically process in terms of learning and approaching the code that you're writing, and how you can actually evolve as a software engineer to be kind of like ready for this incoming cutthroat market. So without any further ado, let's just start. But before starting the video, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we are going to put some really awesome content coming up ahead. So let's just start. So before moving forward in the video, I would like to tell you about the brand new offering of Algocamp, which is the Lambda 5.0 course. So this is the 5th iteration of the flagship advanced backend development course with Node.js, but this time it's bigger and better. This time, Algocamp has introduced a lot of new projects. The whole ecosystem is going to be more AI powered. There are projects including Lovable Clone, your own AI fitness tracker, own AI interview planner and interview prep, I would say, tool. There is some deep engineering concepts around distributed transaction using which you're going to make a payment system or a payment wallet system altogether. There's going to be a workflow manager project. You're going to try to understand how exactly you can use the concepts of, let's say, CDC in order to implement different projects. A lot of deep technical projects and deep technical understanding you are going to get. This particular course is going to focus on making sure that you understand the system architectures and deep system concept that a lot of senior engineers are always involved with, and try to make projects on top of that. You are going to see actual scaling strategies, replication strategies, how you can make sure that your system is fault tolerant, and concepts around, let's say, Kafka, concept around Redis and whatnot. There is so many different projects that are actually added, including a WhatsApp system, something like a Netflix-like system, a Twitch-like system, a lot of AI-powered tools. We are going to actually make something like Lovable Clone and whatnot. Do check out the link in the description section below. Get the idea about all the projects that you are going to get and build. This is something that will take you from an absolutely beginner level backend developer to a very advanced level backend engineer altogether. We have received such great testimonies from the last set of batches, and people are actually loving what we already built, but this time we have made sure that this is bigger and better. So do check out the link in the description section below and use this coupon code to get massive discounts on the current price. And now let's go back to the video. So if you would have started your career somewhere around, let's say, between 2015 to 2022, there is a good chance that during your internships, during your initial 1 to 2 years, you were kind of like doing the basic grunt work. The overall designing, the system design, how the logic should flow, how the system should be built, all of these decisions were taken by, let's say, senior engineers, and you were directly given a, let's say, a set of APIs that you were expected to build. Most of the people used to see this flow as, okay, we have to fetch this data from the database, manipulate this data, and let's say give it to the corresponding front end, majorly focusing on the CRUD aspect of the thing. And slowly and steadily, when they were already in the system for, let's say, 1 to 2 years, they realized that there are more important things like observability, like overall efficiency and whatnot that also be taken into account. Now at this point of time, CRUD APIs is kind of like just a simple mundane work that can be easily done by AI. So as a software engineer, nowadays it's a by default expectation that you know that you have more better systems thinking. For example, let's say if you are making a booking API, you should already keep in mind that what will happen in case of retries. If let's say somebody tried to book some particular resource, but that actually failed, how retries are going to work. This is not something that is now expected for you to learn during your work, but nowadays, because of the help of AI, it's expected that your code velocity will be so high that your learning is also going to be exponentially fast. This is a very simple example that I'm taking. There can be other examples. For example, how you will ensure that there is no double booking coming up altogether, right? What kind of a database do you think would be great for actually storing these booking related data and whatnot? All of these important system thinking that you used to do when you were already 2 to 3 year experience is, I believe, nowadays going to get expected start from your day zero, even if you are SD1. So instead of just focusing on CRUD APIs, let's say when you're learning backend engineering concept, try to focus on more deeper concepts, try to understand better system designs, and not just learn those system design articles or just read those system design articles, try to implement them so that by default you know that for a certain nature of systems there are basic set of things that are already required and how you can achieve it in the best possible way. For example, a lot of people just say that, okay, we need to have relevant logging that should come and actually, let's say, log every single step that is going on with the corresponding API. But just think about it. If let's say you have 10,000 users concurrently hitting your APIs, you'll be getting logs for every single request, right? How do you know what are the set of logs that are actually relevant for one individual request? How do you group them? Don't you think there should be a mechanism with which you should be able to group the logs altogether? These kind of thinkings is something that is going to be extremely crucial from the basic standard only for software engineers. And if you know the answer for this particular question, do let me know in the comment section. I would definitely put a heart on all those answers which are technically correct. Now, because of the overall ecosystem blasting so rapidly because of AI, now you have to start treating AI as your co-engineer. You should by default know how the system should work, what are the caveats of the system you need to keep in mind, and the actual coding work like creating those interfaces, creating those basic set of classes, connecting to the database, all of these basic stuff you can actually pass on to the AI. But you yourself as a software engineer should go one step beyond and start thinking in a more deeper way. For example, let's say you have an event processing system where you are actually using Kafka. Now you should try to think about that, okay, how would you avoid duplicate event processing in Kafka, and how exactly you would avoid data corruption. Considering the fact that Kafka is a pull based mechanism, how frequently you would like to pull the data, right? How long you want the data buffer should be filled, and so on. So these deeper technological aspects, right? It's not just necessary that you only know basics of Kafka, that okay, there's going to be a producer, there's going to be event processing going on, and there's going to be a consumer and so on. You have to go slightly a bit more deeper and try to have more deeper engineering concepts. And once you are having clarity with those particular concepts, you can just prompt your corresponding AI model, which can actually implement those things for you. Because let's say if you are making changes to a configurations, these configurations have been changed like n number of times. You just need to know with respect to your system what configs are something that you need to change, and just ask your AI coworker and it will just do the things for you. Now at this point of time, you should be somebody who is, let's say, if kind of like contributing to a backend engineering project, you should try to keep in mind every system, or I would say every component of the system, how you can actually optimize it, how you can actually improve the fault tolerance of the system, how you can improve the overall availability and reliability of the system. For example, let's say if there is some particular data that is getting very frequently queried, how you can actually cache that, right? When do you not need to use, let's say, the concept of CDNs? When do you want, let's say, an orchestration workflow engine like Temporal to actually control every single step? How do you ensure replication of your database? How would you like to partition your data within your database? Should there be any specific type of a logging that you need to technically support? How you can make your payments more reliable, and so on. These are some really deep engineering concepts that are not new, but these were some things that people used to learn on the go when they are actually working in their jobs. Now I believe this would be something that will be expected out of you, because now in your initial years only, instead of just like focusing on a lot of language level deeper concepts, you can start focusing on deeper engineering concepts and improve your overall system thinking. Now, one trend that you will notice in hiring is that a lot of behavioral rounds will start asking you questions around how would you explain that you have a product oriented mindset. even in backend engineering interviews as well. This thing is actually required because now you can also, I would say, put on a hat of a product manager and try to understand pain points of your customers. Try to understand what your customer wants, what are some painful flows. Your customers might be like end users, or there might be business executives, anybody, but you have to understand your product even better, right? Because now you can be a more wholesome software engineer who is not just like coding the stuff out, but also understanding what is the major set of requirements you need to fulfill, how you can simplify the overall product, how you can improve the overall user experience as well, and so on. And user experience is not something that is only tackled on the front end. Even how you build the backend, how you are actually optimizing your backend system is going to heavily influence how your overall user experience is going to be. Now, this was already a trend that was going on for like last 3 to 4 years, but I can see this trend even going one step further, that now a lot of backend engineers will be also expected to know a lot of concepts around data engineering, how you can write good batch process pipelines or data engineering pipelines, right? How you can write ETL pipelines, all of those big data technologies, data warehouses, data lakes, how you can actually collaborate with that, how you can actually make sure that the data is getting ingested so that analytics engines can actually work on top of that, and so on. So all of these extra concepts, I believe nowadays in your day-to-day job, you will be expected to also handle yourself. In a lot of big tech, software engineers already do handle that, but I can already see there is a shift in which startups are also expecting that you are already having some context around how exactly you can set up the Lambda architecture or a Kappa architecture for setting up pipelines for reading the data or processing the data asynchronously. This should also be something that you should keep in mind if you're learning about backend engineering, that how these extra concepts you can actually cater. So overall, what I believe is, apart from just doing grunt coding work, you can actually pass on a lot of these simplified efforts to, let's say, AI models like Claude Opus, or let's say ChatGPT's Codex, and you can actually focus on more design oriented stuff, understand the system well, understand the product well, understand the business well, and together you will be somebody who will be able to actually produce meaningful software which is heavily optimized, which is actually oriented towards making the user's experience and user's life easy, and also contributing to impact the business in, let's say, terms of revenue, in terms of number of new users and whatnot. This should be your overall goal, because now I believe it's a time that even a product engineer can be a software engineer. So why not vice versa, that even software engineers who are already having deep capabilities of building scalable softwares should also try to wear a hat of product engineers and try to contribute directly to the product features altogether. So start learning these concepts, try to make yourself a better software engineer, understand deep system concepts, and you will be able to sail through all of this disruption that is actually going on. All of these were my opinions, and I would love to know your opinions as well in the comment section below. Do let me know your thoughts, how exactly the AI ecosystem is changing backend engineering altogether. That being said, let's wrap this particular video here. We are going to meet soon in the next set of videos. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. I'm Sanket Singh, signing off.